Hello and welcome to Gunners Daily YouTube channel, where I'm covering all the latest Arsenal news and everything that is happening around the club. We have Nottingham Forest away in 2 days, and then we are officially in February, which is, some could say, make it or break it month for us. So let's see what awaits us all this February and what are my expectations and predictions. But before we start, like always, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more daily content. Thank you and let's go. First things first, as I said, we have Nottingham Forest away in 2 days, and it's a must-win game for us. If we drop points against Nottingham, I think we can all forget about challenging for the title and start focusing on a top 4 finish. Simple as that. But I expect us to win that game. I think we will be motivated, we are flying high at the moment after beating Crystal Palace 5-0, and I think we took some much-needed confidence from that game. But still, I've watched Nottingham. Some of their games, especially since Nuno Espirito Santo took over, and look, there have been some wins, some losses, but all in all, if you ask me, they are playing some good football. Quick, direct, they know what they want, and if you let them, they could seriously hurt you. So yeah, I expect us to win that game, but we must be serious and fully focused. Otherwise, it could be another disaster for us. But let's now talk about the February fixtures. Big month indeed ahead of us. Premier League, Champions League, some tough games, so let's get into it. Right away, we have Liverpool at home on February 4th. It will be our third game against Jurgen Klopp's team in less than 2 months, and judging by how it ended the last 2 times and how motivated their squad will probably be now that they know that their manager is leaving at the end of the season, and they are still first on the table, biggest favorites for the title at the moment, yeah. Let's just say it could be tricky for us. Look, if we are serious about being in the title race, and if we want to prove our doubters wrong, you have to win games like this, against your biggest rivals, especially knowing that you play at home. And if they beat you once again, then no matter how it ends against Nottingham Forest, but then it's probably officially over for us regarding the title run. If that happens, they would be 8 points ahead of you, and look, with everything that's been going on for them at the moment, they will be fired up, highly motivated, and I don't think they will drop their lead. But it could be a much needed positive turnaround for us in our season. If we manage to beat both Nottingham Forest and Liverpool in the same week, it would be a massive push for us, and it would fire us straight back into contention for the title. In that case, we would only be 2 points behind Liverpool, so that means we are then back in play and anything's possible. Also, I forgot to mention it, but before they play us, 5 days before they play us, to be more precise, Liverpool will have to play against Chelsea. I mean, they play at home, and I would be shocked if Chelsea could take anything from that game, but still, who knows? All in all, as far as we are concerned, we have to beat both Nottingham and Liverpool. I think it's crucial for us right now to start off this month on the right foot if we want to have any chance of staying in the race for the Premier League title. Okay, next, 1 week later after Liverpool, we have West Ham away. And believe me, this will be an extremely tough game for us. West Ham have been fired up when they play against us lately, and in fact, we lost 3 straight games against them, against West Ham United. 3 straight losses. Once in the Carabao Cup and 2 times in the league, where they've beaten us both home and away. So that tells you everything you need to know. And look, they really do look bad in some games, but at the same time, when they are properly fired up and motivated, they can fight with any club in the league. And I already have a strong feeling that they will be really motivated to play against us when we come to London Stadium. But still, if you are serious about being in the title race, you simply have to beat teams like West Ham United. No matter if it's home or away, no offense to them, really. But that's just the way it is. If you are seriously challenging for the biggest trophies, you have to win games like this. 3 points to nothing. Let's move on to the next one. Burnley away. Listen, it's obvious what I'm gonna say. We have to take 3 points against them, but I shortly wanted to drift off and talk about the Burnley season so far. Since Vincent Kompany took over at Burnley in 2022, if I'm not wrong, I have nothing but praise for him and the things he did with that club. The way in which he transformed that club completely. Playing style, mentality, approach to football. This is not the Burnley we all knew and loved in the past. But seriously, props to him and them. They've been brilliant last season in the championship, but this season, I don't know. I mean, the gap between the championship and Premier League is probably bigger than ever. But still, I honestly expected a lot more from Burnley and Vincent Kompany this season. A lot more. Maybe it's just me, because I don't follow them obviously that closely. But still, 3 wins in 21 games so far, 15 defeats, I don't know. But one thing that is nice to see, at least to me, an outsider, is that they still haven't given up on Vincent Kompany. And they are still sticking by him and hoping that he could probably turn their season around. We need more of that in today's football. Clubs sticking with their managers for a longer period of time, as opposed to sacking them after their second or third straight defeat in the league. So yeah, I went off topic a bit, but I just wanted to share some of my thoughts about them. As for us, Arsenal, look, 3 points, simple as that. Anything else would be a major disaster for us. I'm just being honest. Next up, Porto in the Champions League. I already talked about them a lot. As we already know, we are playing against them in the round of 16. A tough opponent. Don't be fooled. They are a good team. We definitely shouldn't underestimate them. They can easily surprise us. They will be on their best level against us. They will be all fired up. They will all want to prove a point against a strong team like Arsenal. So all in all, I expect it to be a difficult game for us. It's a good thing that the second game will be played at the Emirates. That's a little advantage that is always good to have. But still, during these past few years, when we were playing in the Europa League, every time we played against some half-serious opponent, no offense to anyone, but I don't know how to put it, against some good but not great teams, let's call it that, always, and I mean always, the general thinking before the match was, oh, this is going to be too easy. We are going through to the next round. Easy peasy for Mikel Arteta's tricky Reds. And still, we never even managed to reach the final in that competition with almost the identical squad that we have right now. Interesting. So my point is, yes, obviously we are a massive favorites against Porto, and it would be a huge surprise and upset if they somehow manage to beat us. But like I said, we must take this game seriously. We must be on 100%. And calmly but surely beat Porto and advance to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. We must. I already talked about that. How I think that this Arsenal team is more likely to win the Champions League than the Premier League this season. In my video called Is Trophyless Season a Failure for Arsenal? So if you haven't already, feel free to check that out. And finally, our last game in February, Newcastle United at home. We all know what happened the last time we played against Newcastle at St. James's Park, so I won't go back there again. But this time, I think they are in a massive crisis. They are not playing good at the moment. They are struggling against every single team. Their players are not in form. They have a really long injury list. Pressure is high for them at the moment. So in general, they are not in a good situation right now. Of course, that could change in a month's time, but at the moment, things are not looking good for them. They are 10th on the table outside of any European places. They have 8 defeats in their last 10 games. 8 defeats. So yeah, things are definitely not looking good for them at the moment. Honeymoon period is over and the struggle is real now. Look, I think our players will be so fired up and motivated to take all 3 points against them at the Emirates, especially after everything that happened in our last game against them. If I had to pick one game now from the whole February calendar, in which I'm definitely sure that we'll take the win, it's this game against Newcastle at the Emirates. I honestly think we will demolish them. So yeah, anything other than 3 points would be considered a major failure from our team. And that is basically it for February. So Gunners, tell me, what are your thoughts? What are your predictions? Write down in the comments. Thank you all for joining in. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more daily content. Thank you, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.